In the year 2347, humanity had spread across the stars, colonizing multiple systems and forging a new era of exploration and progress. The United Earth Space Fleet stood as a beacon of hope and unity, protecting the far-flung colonies from the dangers of the cosmos. Captain Jasper Maxwell, a seasoned veteran of the fleet, commanded the U.S. Indomitable, a state-of-the-art vessel designed for deep space exploration and defense. His crew, a diverse mix of humans from various colonies, shared a deep bond forged through countless missions and trials. As the Indomitable patrolled the outer reaches of human space, a priority transmission from Earth Command interrupted their routine. Captain Maxwell strode onto the bridge, his presence commanding immediate attention. "Report," he barked, his steely gaze fixed on the main view screen. Lieutenant Nick Solaris, the communications officer, turned to face him. "Sir, we've received a distress signal from Research Station Prometheus. They orbit Planet X-317 in the Tartarus system." Maxwell furrowed his brow. "The Tartarus system? That's on the edge of uncharted space. What's the nature of their distress?" Solaris shook her head. "Unknown, sir. The signal was weak and fragmented. We only managed to decipher their location and the word emergency before it cut out." The captain pondered for a moment, weighing the potential risks against the urgent plea for help. How long to reach them at maximum warp? Navigator Orion Vega consulted his charts. "Approximately 36 hours, Captain." Maxwell nodded decisively. "Set a course. Prometheus is one of our most advanced research stations. If they're in trouble, it's our duty to assist." As the crew prepared for the jump to warp, Maxwell couldn't shake a sense of unease. Research Station Prometheus had been tasked with studying Planet X-317, an enigmatic world shrouded in strange energy readings. The decision to establish a station there had been controversial, with some scientists warning of potential dangers. But the lure of knowledge and potential technological breakthroughs had outweighed the risks. Now, it seemed, those risks may have come to fruition. The Indomitable leapt into warp, its powerful engines propelling them towards the unknown. In the mess hall, crew members speculated about what awaited them. Some spoke of alien civilizations and first contact, while others whispered of cosmic horrors and unspeakable threats. Maxwell spent the journey reviewing the limited data on Planet X-317 and the research conducted by Prometheus. The more he read, the more his unease grew. Reports spoke of energy anomalies that defied known physics, strange artifacts buried beneath the planet's surface, and inexplicable phenomena that afflicted the station's crew. As they dropped out of warp on the outskirts of the Tartarus system, the Indomitable was greeted by an eerie sight. Research Station Prometheus hung silently in orbit around Planet X-317, its lights extinguished and its hull battered. Scans revealed no signs of life aboard the station, only the fading traces of residual heat. Maxwell ordered a boarding party to prepare, determined to uncover the fate of the station's crew. But as they approached the airlock, a chilling transmission echoed through the Indomitable's speakers. It was a voice, human yet distorted, filled with equal parts terror and awe. "Turn back, you don't know what you're dealing with. The prisoner must not be freed. We were wrong, we were so wrong." The transmission cut off abruptly, leaving a stunned silence in its wake. Maxwell exchanged grim looks with his crew, their unease now shared. What prisoner? What had the researchers on Prometheus discovered? And what horrors awaited them on the silent, lifeless station? As the airlock hissed open and the boarding party stepped cautiously inside, they knew one thing for certain: the answers lay ahead, in the unfathomable depths of the unknown. The boarding party, led by Captain Maxwell himself, advanced cautiously through the dimly lit corridors of Research Station Prometheus. Emergency lighting flickered sporadically, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The station's life support systems were operational, but the air held a stale, ominous quality. Sergeant Raven Blackwood, the Indomitable's chief of security, moved alongside Maxwell, his keen eyes scanning for any signs of danger. The other members of the party, including Dr. Lila Summers, the ship's lead scientist, followed closely behind, their weapons at the ready. The station's main lab was a scene of chaos. Equipment lay strewn across the floor, shattered and broken. Consoles flickered with garbled data, and the main view screen displayed a swirling maelstrom of colors, as if the sensors were overwhelmed by some incomprehensible force. Dr. Summers immediately set to work, attempting to salvage what data she could from the damaged systems. Maxwell and Blackwood searched the lab for any sign of the missing researchers, but found only eerie stillness. It was Ensign Kai Nakamura who made the first discovery. "Captain, over here." Maxwell and Blackwood rushed to Nakamura's position, where he stood before a shattered observation window. Beyond the fractured glass, the roiling surface of Planet X-317 filled their view. But it was what stood on the planet's surface that drew their attention. A colossal structure, clearly of alien origin, rose from the barren landscape. Its dark, angular form seemed to defy the laws of geometry, its edges blurring and shifting in unsettling ways. A pulsing, sickly light emanated from within, casting a pallid glow across the planet's surface. Dr. Summers joined them, her eyes widening at the sight. "My God, the energy readings from that structure are off the charts. It's like nothing I've ever seen." Maxwell's mind raced with the implications. Had the researchers on Prometheus discovered this alien edifice? Was it the source of the strange phenomena they had observed? Blackwood voiced the question on all their minds. "What is it? And where are the researchers?" As if in answer, a sudden tremor shook the station. The lights flickered and died, plunging them into darkness. In the next moment, a blinding flash of light erupted from the alien structure, engulfing the planet's surface and washing over the station like a tidal wave. Maxwell shielded his eyes, feeling a strange, tingling sensation wash over his skin. When the light faded, he blinked away the afterimages, his heart pounding in his chest. The station's systems surged back to life, but they were changed. The consoles now displayed strange, alien glyphs, pulsing with an otherworldly energy. The view screen showed the planet's surface, but the landscape had been transformed. Where once there had been barren rock, now a lush, eerily beautiful forest stretched as far as the eye could see. And in the center of it all, the alien structure pulsed with renewed vigor, as if awakened by the surge of energy. Dr. Summers was the first to break the stunned silence. "We have to get down there. Whatever that structure is, it holds the answers we seek." Maxwell nodded grimly. "Agreed. But we proceed with caution. We have no idea what we're dealing with." As the boarding party made their way back to the Indomitable to prepare for planetfall, Maxwell couldn't shake the feeling that they were standing on the precipice of something profound and terrifying. The alien structure called to him, beckoning with the promise of knowledge and power. But as he gazed at the transformed landscape of Planet X-317, he couldn't help but wonder, what price would they pay for uncovering the secrets that lay within the unfathomable depths? The Indomitable descended through the atmosphere of Planet X-317, its powerful engines kicking up clouds of dust and debris as it settled on the outskirts of the alien forest. Captain Maxwell led the landing party out onto the surface, their suits sealed against the unknown environment. Dr. Summers scanned the area with her tricorder, her eyes widening at the readings. "The energy signatures are unlike anything I've ever seen. It's as if the entire planet is infused with some sort of exotic matter." As they pushed deeper into the forest, the alien structure loomed before them, its dark form seeming to absorb the light around it. Strange, pulsing veins of energy ran along its surface, casting an eerie glow on the surroundings. Sergeant Blackwood took point, his weapon at the ready. "Stay sharp, people. We don't know what we're walking into." At the base of the structure, they found an entrance, a gaping maw that seemed to beckon them inward. Maxwell hesitated for a moment, a sense of foreboding washing over him. But the lure of answers proved too strong to resist. Inside, the structure was a labyrinth of twisting corridors and vast chambers, filled with technology that defied comprehension. Pulsing conduits of energy snaked along the walls, and strange, holographic displays flickered with alien glyphs. It was in the heart of the structure that they found it. A massive chamber, its walls lined with pulsing, crystalline pods. And within one of those pods, a figure stirred. Dr. Summers gasped. "Captain, it's humanoid." Maxwell approached the pod cautiously, his heart pounding in his chest. The figure within was tall and lithe, with pale, almost translucent skin. Its eyes, when they snapped open, were a piercing, icy blue. The pod hissed open, and the figure stepped out, its movements fluid and graceful. It surveyed the humans with a curious, almost amused expression. "Welcome," it said, its voice a melodic whisper that seemed to echo in their minds. "I am Zorith of the Eldery." Maxwell stepped forward, his hand resting on his sidearm. "I am Captain Jasper Maxwell of the United Earth Space Fleet. We came in response to a distress call from our researchers." "What happened here?" Zoritha's expression turned sorrowful. "Your researchers stumbled upon this place, this prison. In their curiosity, they accidentally released me from my confinement." Dr. Summers interjected. "Prison? Why were you imprisoned?" Zorith sighed, a sound that carried the weight of ages. "My people, the Eldery, are an ancient race. We possess technology and knowledge far beyond your understanding. But there were those among us who feared that power, who believed it would lead to our destruction. They imprisoned me here for daring to push the boundaries of our knowledge." Maxwell frowned, doubt gnawing at him. "And our researchers? What happened to them?" Zorith spread his hands in a gesture of helplessness. "They were caught in the energy surge when I was released. I fear they did not survive." A heavy silence fell over the chamber. Maxwell's mind raced with the implications of Zoritha's words. An ancient, powerful alien, imprisoned by his own kind. Technology beyond human understanding. And the loss of an entire research team. Dr. Summers broke the silence, her voice eager. "Zorith, your knowledge could benefit humanity greatly. We're explorers, always seeking to expand our understanding of the universe. Perhaps we could help each other." Zorith smiled, a glint of something unreadable in his eyes. "Perhaps. But tread carefully, humans. The path to knowledge is often fraught with peril." As they returned to the Indomitable, Zorith in tow, Maxwell couldn't shake the feeling that they had unleashed something far beyond their control. The alien's words echoed in his mind, a warning and a promise all at once. What secrets did Zorith hold? What wonders, or horrors, might he unleash upon humanity? Only time would tell as they ventured deeper into the unfathomable depths. In the weeks that followed Zoritha's arrival on Earth, the world changed. The Eldery's vast knowledge and advanced technology propelled human understanding centuries ahead. Under his guidance, scientists unlocked secrets that had long eluded them, from the nature of gravity to the manipulation of space-time itself. Captain Maxwell watched the rapid advancements with a mixture of awe and trepidation. While part of him marveled at the newfound powers humanity now wielded, another part feared the consequences of such rapid change. Zorith became a figure of reverence, his counsel sought by world leaders and scientists alike. But Maxwell couldn't shake the feeling that something was amiss. Zoritha's influence seemed to grow with each passing day, his suggestions carrying the weight of commands. Whispers of discontent began to spread among the Indomitable's crew. Some questioned the wisdom of blindly following an alien's lead, no matter how benevolent he appeared. Others spoke of strange dreams and visions, of a darkness lurking beneath Zoritha's benign facade. Matters came to a head when Dr. Summers, who had been working closely with Zorith, came to Maxwell with a disturbing discovery. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data from the alien structure on X-317, she said, her voice trembling. "I think Zoritha's imprisonment wasn't just a case of scientific disagreement. There's evidence of a great war, eons ago. A war against Zorith himself." Maxwell leaned forward, his brow furrowed. "What are you saying, Doctor?" Dr. Summers took a deep breath. "I believe Zorith wasn't just pushing the boundaries of knowledge. He was pushing the boundaries of ethics, of morality. The records suggest he conducted horrific experiments, sought to dominate lesser species. His own people imprisoned him as a last resort, to prevent him from unleashing untold horrors upon the galaxy." A chill ran down Maxwell's spine. If what Summers said was true, then they had not freed a benevolent teacher, but a malevolent tyrant. and they had handed him the keys to humanity's future. Confronting Zorith was a tense affair. The Eldery listened to Maxwell's accusations with a calm, almost amused expression. When Maxwell finished, Zorith chuckled softly. "Captain, you must understand. The records you've uncovered tell only a fraction of the story. Yes, I pushed the boundaries. Yes, I sought power. But it was for the greater good. My people were stagnant, content with their lot. I sought to elevate them, to unlock their true potential." Maxwell shook his head. "At what cost? Domination of other species? Unethical experiments?" Zoritha's eyes hardened. "The cost of progress, Captain. The weak must give way to the strong. It is the natural order of things. And now I offer that same path to humanity. A chance to ascend, to take your rightful place among the stars." The Indomitable's crew stood behind Maxwell, united in their mistrust of Zoritha's grand vision. But outside, the seeds of division had already been sown. Some saw Zorith as a savior, a guide to a glorious future. Others feared the price of that future, the moral compromises it would demand. As tensions rose and factions formed, Maxwell knew a reckoning was coming. Humanity stood at a crossroads, poised between the promise of unimaginable power and the peril of losing its very soul. And in the heart of it all, Zorith waited, his true intentions still shrouded in mystery. Maxwell had played host to the devil, and now the bargain must be paid. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, as the unfathomable depths threatened to swallow them all. The divisions within humanity came to a boiling point as Zoritha's influence continued to grow. Those who embraced his teachings, seduced by the promise of power, formed a fanatical cult around the Eldery. They called themselves the Ascendant, and their fervor bordered on religious devotion. On the other side of the divide stood those who feared the consequences of Zoritha's unchecked ambition. Led by Captain Maxwell and the crew of the Indomitable, they formed a resistance, determined to expose the true nature of the aliens' agenda. Tensions erupted into open conflict when the Ascendant seized control of key government and military installations across Earth. Armed with advanced Eldery technology, they quickly overwhelmed conventional forces, securing a stranglehold on power. Maxwell and his allies found themselves outnumbered and outgunned, forced into hiding as Zoritha's acolytes hunted them without mercy. In secret bases and underground bunkers, they plotted their next move, desperate to find a way to stop the Ascendant's march towards total domination. But Zorith had not been idle. In the heart of his fortress, he worked tirelessly to unlock the full potential of Eldery science, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. And as his power grew, so too did his true colors show. Reports began to surface of horrific experiments, of dissidents vanishing in the night, of entire populations subjected to mind control. The utopia Zorith had promised was revealed as a nightmarish dystopia, a world where free will was sacrificed on the altar of progress. Maxwell knew they were running out of time. With each passing day, Zoritha's grip on humanity tightened, and the hope of resistance faded. In a desperate gambit, he led a daring raid on the Ascendant's main research facility, hoping to uncover some weakness in Zoritha's defenses. What they found was a horror beyond imagining. In the depths of the facility, Zorith had constructed a massive machine, a device that harnessed the fundamental forces of the universe. With it, he planned to ascend to godhood itself, to reshape reality according to his twisted vision. The raid was a disaster. Maxwell's team was discovered, outmatched by the Ascendant's superior technology. In the chaos of the battle, Dr. Summers was captured, dragged before Zorith himself. The Eldery's eyes glinted with malevolent glee as he beheld his prize. "Dr. Summers, you have been a thorn in my side for far too long. But even thorns have their uses. Your knowledge will serve me well in the final stages of my ascension." Maxwell, battered and beaten, could only watch helplessly as Summers was subjected to Zoritha's mind probe, her secrets and knowledge ripped from her mind. But even in the depths of despair, a flicker of hope emerged. For in that moment, Summers caught a glimpse of Zoritha's mind, a fleeting vision of his grand plan. And in that plan, she saw a flaw, a weakness that could be exploited. With her last ounce of strength, She sent a cryptic message to Maxwell, a single word that held the key to Zoratha's downfall: frequency. As Maxwell and the tattered remnants of the resistance retreated to lick their wounds, they pondered the meaning of Summer's final message. What frequency held the key to defeating Zorath? And at what cost would that victory come? The stage was set for a final confrontation, a battle that would decide the fate not just of Earth, but of the galaxy itself. In the unfathomable depths, the seeds of hope and despair intertwined, waiting for the final act to unfold. In the ruins of a once great city, Captain Maxwell and the last of the resistance huddled around a flickering holographic display. Dr. Summers' final message hovered in the air, a cryptic clue to Zoratha's weakness. Frequency, Maxwell muttered, his brow furrowed in concentration. What could it mean? Ensign Nakamura, the Indomitable's former science officer, studied the data they had managed to salvage from the raid. I think I might know, he said, his voice hesitant. The device Zorath is building, it operates on a specific resonant frequency. If we could disrupt that frequency, it might destabilize the whole system. Maxwell's eyes widened. And how do we do that? Nakamura swallowed hard. By feeding it a massive burst of energy on the same frequency. But the only way to generate that kind of power is to detonate a ship's core, Maxwell finished, the realization dawning on him like a cold weight in his gut. The plan was desperate, a last-ditch effort born of despair and necessity. They would take the Indomitable, laden with every scrap of explosives they could muster, and ram it directly into the heart of Zoratha's device. The resulting detonation would, if their calculations were correct, create a resonance cascade that would tear the fabric of Zoratha's ascension asunder. But it was a one-way trip. Whoever piloted the Indomitable on its final voyage would be consigning themselves to oblivion, a sacrifice beyond measure. Maxwell knew what he had to do. As captain, the responsibility fell on his shoulders. He would not ask any of his crew to make the sacrifice he himself was unwilling to make. In the final hours before the assault, Maxwell made his rounds, saying his farewells to the brave men and women who had fought beside him. They were more than his crew. They were his family, bound by ties forged in the crucible of adversity. Sergeant Blackwood clasped his hand, his eyes shining with unshed tears. It's been an honor, Captain. Dr. Summers, rescued from Zoratha's clutches, but forever changed by the ordeal, hugged him fiercely. You're a good man, Jasper. The best of us. As Maxwell strapped himself into the Indomitable's pilot seat, he felt a strange sense of peace settle over him. This was his destiny, the culmination of a journey that had begun the moment he first set foot among the stars. The Indomitable, battered and scarred, but unyielding, roared to life one last time. Maxwell guided the ship towards Zoratha's fortress, a gleaming spire of twisted metal and pulsing energy. Zoratha's defenses opened fire, lancing beams of searing light that tore at the Indomitable's hull. But Maxwell held the course, his eyes fixed on the prize. In the heart of the fortress, Zorath stood before his ascension device, his face contorted in a mixture of triumph and rage. Fools, he bellowed. You cannot stop the inevitable. I am the future, the destiny of all life. But Maxwell had a different destiny in mind. With a final, defiant roar, he plunged the Indomitable into the heart of the device, the ship's core detonating in a blinding flash of light. The resonance cascade tore through the fortress, shattering Zoratha's ascension and reducing his grand design to ash. The Eldary's scream of defeat echoed across the cosmos, a final testament to the hubris of his ambition. In the aftermath, as the remnants of humanity emerged from the ruins to rebuild, they spoke of Maxwell's sacrifice with reverence and awe. He had given his life so that others might live, a hero in the truest sense of the word. And though the scars of Zoratha's betrayal would linger long in the collective memory, humanity had learned a valuable lesson. The path to the stars was fraught with peril, and the price of power was ever and always vigilance against the unfathomable depths. But in the end, it was the indomitable spirit of humanity that had prevailed, a light in the darkness that would guide them forevermore.